So if you've been with my channel for a while now, you'd know I've made quite a lot of these videos. Now, for this video, I wanted to tackle a very fun topic and try to dissect and figure out which of the series assassins is the most evil. This video is a bit different from the others though, because for this one, there's no clear or definitive answer. It's so opinion based and depends on what perhaps your personal perception of evil is, because all these protagonists for the most part are meant to be good people. It's not like any of them did anything super malicious. Nah, but that guy deserved it. But seriously, for this video, I really had to grasp onto whatever I could and use a lot of personal opinion, but I still found this to be a really fun topic, and one that isn't really talked about much for the series, especially when it comes to the protagonists. Like, sure, we know the villains are evil, or at least some of them, obviously, but Assassin's Creed doesn't really have many anti-hero slash evil protagonists. Maybe Shay could classify as an anti-hero, but if you've played Rogue, you know he's actually a pretty good person. Besides, I don't include Shay in these because to me, he's more of a Templar than he ever was an assassin, and I include him on my videos for the Templars, so yeah, I include him in those instead, for those of you who were confused as to why I don't talk about Shay in the assassin videos. I also don't include Eivor and the demigods because, well, they obviously aren't assassins, and it also just wouldn't be fair to include characters with godlike supernatural powers with normal flesh and blood assassins. Again, these videos are purely for fun and almost always opinion based, so there's no need for everyone to be attacking each other in the comments. It can kind of get toxic, so I just wanted to give a friendly reminder. Anyway, deciding who's the most evil assassin protagonist in the series is not going to be an easy task. And let me make it clear, I don't really think any of these protagonists are evil, but we can try and make the argument that some are more evil than others. This is gonna be difficult, since you're all just such gosh darn nice people. Yeah, he deserved it too. So starting off with the legendary assassin himself, Altair. Honestly, depending on your perspective and when in Altair's life, you could actually make a case for him being one of the more quote-unquote evil assassins. Again, I don't think he's evil, but he may have done some more ruthless and cruel things than some of the other assassin protagonists in the series. Like, for example, him effectively causing the attack on Masyaf and the deaths of many of his brothers could be seen as an evil act, but it's not really like Altair meant for it to happen, although he didn't seem too regretful at the time. I do think Altair is a lot more ruthless than a lot of the other assassin protagonists. He makes a point of killing any witnesses from the people he interrogates. He doesn't hesitate to use the apple on one of a boss's men when he's overcome with anger and grief, which is totally understandable, by the way. Again, I think from a certain perspective, you could view some of his actions as evil, but when you really consider the kind of people he kills and the fact that he makes a lot of mistakes as a young assassin, it's hard to label him as evil. He does also basically start a civil war and leads an attack on a boss and kills him and all those loyal to him, but again, that's pretty justified. Could he be considered more evil than some of the other series protagonists? Yeah, I think that's fair to say at least. Now, come on. We all know Ezio is a great guy. Well, granted, as long as you're his friend and not his foe. I mean, I wish I was friends with Ezio. That's for sure. Look how well he treated Leonardo. I don't really know if I can view many things Ezio did as evil. I mean, did he throw a man off a cliff? Yeah, but Cesare was the embodiment of evil, so you know, that's okay. I'm actually pretty happy with that.
Good riddance.
I know I said I don't think any of the assassin protagonists are evil, but with Ezio, I'm 100% sure he can't be considered the most evil of the bunch. If Ezio is evil, then Jacob is the smartest man alive. Haha, now if you're Connor's enemy, I'm sure you see him as the literal embodiment of the devil. But mass murder aside, he actually is a really nice guy. Mostly. Again, if you're his enemy, oh, it's game over. But he's loyal to his friends and allies almost to a fault. He did kill his father and best friend, but again, it's not like he had much choice, and of course he didn't want to. Connor's definitely not an evil person, and I wouldn't consider him one of the more evil assassins. Edward's a very interesting one because he's one of the few characters where we actually spend a majority of the time with before he becomes an assassin. Obviously, he's a pirate, and pirates aren't always the most friendly, good, kind-hearted people. I do believe Edward was deep down always a good person, and it took him a while for him to finally grow into that. But yeah, he definitely did his fair share of crimes before that. All he really cared about was wealth and glory. However, I think it just made him greedy, not necessarily evil. But again, he had his fair share of evil deeds during his pirating days. I know, not really a ton to go off of, but in comparison to the other protagonists, I think he makes a decent argument for most evil. I think it's quite obvious Arno is not the most evil assassin. Well, I suppose he did partake in the occasional burglary for his own pocket watch at the start of Unity, but that's hardly evil. His actions do also actively trigger what led to both his father's and Altair's death, albeit completely indirectly and unintentionally. Arno is driven by revenge and redemption through lots of Unity's story, and for the most part, he's a good person. Sure, he makes mistakes and all, and he does lose faith and hope for a while after Unity's story in Dead Kings, but compared to the others like Edward, who pirated for many years, I don't think he can be considered as the most evil. If being stupid was considered evil, then man, Jacob is a worldwide menace, 2 brain cells and all. Jacob does a lot of dumb things in Syndicate, and he actually creates quite a lot of chaos and destruction, but again, it's not like there's any evil intent there. And well, Evie is just that uptight girl that doesn't like anything fun, so perhaps there's a degree of evil in there as well. Yeah, I think it's safe to rule these 2 world-renowned supervillains out. So in one of my other videos, I said Bayek is the scariest assassin.
I never sleep. I just wait in the shadows, and I will kill you all. Everyone who sniffed the air that day in Siwa!
Yeah, Bayek can be a pretty scary guy, but you remember that these are the people who are responsible for making him stab his own son. So yeah, make them suffer, Bayek! Haha! Oh man, maybe I'm the most evil assassin. Bayek does some pretty violent things in Origins, but you know he's still a great person who still helps out and protects the innocent. I remember this one mission where he talks this woman out of committing suicide and jumping off a cliff, and it's such a great reminder of the kind of person Bayek is, and any evil or atrocious acts he may commit comes from a place of great anger towards those who murdered his son, genuinely evil people. So who's the most evil assassin? Yeah, if I have to choose, which you know, I do, I'm gonna go with Edward because of his greed and selfishness from his days as a pirate. Again, I don't think he's evil, it's just I gotta choose someone, and to me, Edward makes the most sense. I could see an argument for Altair as well though, I'm sure some people may choose him. Even though there wasn't the most evidence or substance to go off of here, I thought it was a really interesting topic for the AC protagonist. It got me thinking, would actually be pretty cool and refreshing if we got an anti-hero or even a villain for a protagonist for once. Someone who falls more in the moral gray area. I actually think we may get that with Basm perhaps, especially with Loki manifesting within him. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Again, I think an anti-hero slash evil protagonist could be really cool and refreshing. But if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you considered leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel if you're new. I also now have channel memberships, so if you want to join, press the join button next to my channel or click the link in the description. I would really appreciate the support. Hehe, it's been the Master Assassin, the most evil assassin. And have a great day, everyone. Wait, that's not what an evil person would say. Man, never mind.